Hi folks, Joel Nickerson with Butler Ford with one more video in our video series, Questions on Leasing. Once again, we went out and found the 8 most common questions that Google had about leasing, and we're addressing them for you today. You'll see the playlist below. This question is, I went over my agreed lease-end mileage. What happens now? Well, you've got several options, and let's kind of step it back, and it shouldn't be a shock to you that you're going over your lease-end miles. So part of a lease is determined by, when you contract for it, how many miles a year or annually are you going to be using. Most common are 10, 12, 15, and there are higher mileage lease options. From the 15, there's 16, 5, 17, 18. You've got a little bit of control there. Highest I've ever seen is 33,000 miles a year. When you're contracting, you have the option to buy miles up front. That's at a discounted rate, typically at around 20 cents a mile. If you find yourself in this situation, hey, I went over my miles at the end, you will be penalized. You're going to be looking at about 25 cents a mile. Now that's kind of an industry average. On some higher end vehicles, it may be more. Now 25 cents a mile seems pretty steep. Well, Kelley Blue Book depreciates at 36 cents a mile for what they determine to be over the average miles. So I think it's an 11-cent savings. But let's get to, what do we do that we're in this situation? I can think of 2 or 3 creative things that you can do. One, if you know in advance, hey, I'm exceeding my miles, I'm gonna be over my miles, add a little bit of money to your car payment every month. Why would I do that? Well, so at the end of the lease, let's say that you're gonna be over by 1,000 miles, and you can just kind of tell, hey, based on what I'm driving now, if I stay on this current driving, I'm gonna be over by, $1,000. Okay, so if you added $100 a month to your lease payment, got to the end of the lease, you'd have $1,200 extra there, and it would just take care of your mileage penalty for you, okay? I can speak from that one from experience. That's what I'm doing my wife's Expedition, because we're gonna be over our miles on it. Another option, drop the vehicle off. When you negotiate on your next transaction, say, hey, I'm over the miles. Will you help me with this car dealer? Could you assign some of the rebate instead of the next transaction, but to pay my mileage fee? The other option would be to buy the vehicle out at the end of the lease. If you find yourself in a situation where you've got a large mileage penalty, you can buy the vehicle out and then you have no mileage penalty. But be aware, your depreciation was set on the number of miles you planned on driving. You've exceeded that, so it may not be the best financial decision to buy the vehicle out at the end if you're not in what we'd consider to be in a great equity position in the vehicle. But those are 3 options that I could come up with, what to do if you're over your miles. I hope you're enjoying this video series. Please comment and like, ask questions. We're quick to get back to you. Again, Joel Nickerson with Butler Ford.